Hey guys, it's Ashley, and today I'm going to be doing the rapid fire book tag. So this tag was created by Girl Reading, and I will leave the link to her channel down below because she is absolutely amazing and I love her to death. It was actually a tag that was circling around BookTube a long time ago. Like, people were doing it a year ago, and I'm just now getting on this bandwagon. So, without further ado, let's begin. This tag is exactly as it sounds. Rapid fire questions answered with the first thing that you think of. Number 1, ebook or physical book? Personally, I like physical books better, as I'm sure many of you do. I like the aesthetic of it as well as knowing how far you are in the book. Personally, I like when you put a bookmark in a book and you can see how much left you have, not by just a page counter of how many pages you have, just by actually seeing like the thick amount of pages or the tiny little bit you have until you're done. But recently I've been getting more and more into ebooks, and I have less of a, I guess, stigma against them, or less of a negative opinion against them, I would say. So at this point I'm kind of impartial. 2, paperback or hardback? This one I'm actually becoming impartial to too. It's crazy how much I've changed. I used to love hardback with all of my heart, but recently I feel like I've been buying more and more paperback books, and it's not bothering me as much. Like, I like the feeling of a paperback book, and I like, you know, as much as it's probably going to pain most of you to hear this, I like seeing a well-read book. I'm becoming more and more inclined to that, and I don't know why. 3, online or in-store shopping? For me, I love in-store shopping, but I love online prices, so if there's a happy medium to that, Amazon bookstore, where are you? 4, trilogies or series? For me, I have to personally say I like series better. I feel like a good trilogy is good, but I always want more. 5, heroes or villains? This is so hard because it depends on the book. Some books I love the heroes more, some books I love the villains more. It totally depends on the book. I have no absolutely sure answer to this. For instance, The Mortal Instruments, I love Sebastian, but at the same time I also love everybody else. It's such a hard question. I'm skipping it. I'm sorry. I'm allowed to do this, right? 6, a book that you want everybody to read. Is this really a question? Everybody needs to read A Darker Shade of Magic, and you all need to tell me how you feel about it because I love it so much. I think this is 7. Recommend an underrated book. I feel like I don't read underrated books, which is what makes this really hard. To be quite honest, I don't know if one of these is technically overrated or underrated, but I'm gonna have to go with a middle grade and a graphic novel. The first one, the middle grade, is gonna be The Adventurers Guild by Zach Lauren Clark and Nick Iliopoulos. I always get that wrong. This book is so freaking adorable, and it reminds me so much of Percy Jackson with a complete different spin and take on it, so I definitely recommend. And the other one is actually Nimona by Noelle Stevenson, and this is the one that I don't know if people have talked about it or if it was, you know, a highly recommended book or what. I just know that I haven't seen it very often on BookTube, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. It's the most adorable graphic novel. I love it to death, and it's really funny, so pick it up. Number 8, the last book that you finished. I wish I had a more fun answer to this, but it's gonna be The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, which I was not much a fan of, I'm sorry. The last book that you bought. If I'm gonna be completely honest, it's probably gonna be 3 books that I needed for school. If we're going to go off of just book that I actually want to read in general, it's probably going to be either Renegades or The Cruel Prince, because I think I bought those really close together recently. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. How am I supposed to remember this? The weirdest thing I've used for a bookmark. I mean, probably another book. I can't remember. I'm gonna go with another book. Used books, yes or no? I'm gonna say yes. I don't have a problem with it anymore. I used to only want new books. Now I just don't mind, so yeah, sure, why not? Top 3 favorite genres. This is definitely going to be fantasy, sci-fi. Am I allowed to split fantasy into 2 different genres? High fantasy and urban fantasy? Am I allowed to do that? I don't know, because that's what I'm doing. Borrow or buying books? Buying books 100%, because I hate to admit this, but I am that person who will never remember to give the book back to you. I still have a book that I have not given back to my friend, and it's been months, and I sincerely apologize. But this is why I never ask to borrow books from people, because I know I'm gonna forget, so I know myself, at least. Characters or plot? 100% characters. If the characters aren't, like, if I don't like the characters, I don't like the story. Long or short books. I like long books only if I like the story. Obviously, if it's a school book and I don't want to read it, I'd prefer it to be shorter, but I mean, all in all, I like longer books more. Long or short chapters. See, I like shorter chapters because it feels like you are getting through the book quicker, but at the same time, shorter chapters, if you like the book, you don't want to be getting through it quicker. You want to be slowing down and taking everything in. So this is a trick question, and I don't like this question. Name the first 3 books that you think of. A Darkest Shade of Magic, City of Bones, Renegades. Books that make you laugh or cry? What kind of a rapid fire book tag is this? I didn't even look at these questions. I can't think of this off the top of my head. Book that made me laugh. Percy Jackson. The Mortal Instruments. Renegades actually made me laugh. A book that made you cry? A Conjuring of Light. What other book made me cry? Clockwork Princess. The Ship of the Dead actually nearly made me cry. Our World or fictional world? Is this a trick question? Fictional world. Why would I want to be reading about our world when I could read about a fictional world? Audiobooks, yes or no? Personally, for me, I'm gonna have to say no. Every time I've tried to use an audiobook, I get a headache, I get nauseous, I can't think. That's probably because I've been doing it in the car. But also I can't like picture where I'm at in the book for some reason. I don't know why. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Absolutely. Who doesn't? Book to movie or book to TV show adaptation? Oh boy. For me, I'm gonna have to go with book to movie. As much as I'd rather watch a TV show than a movie because there's more content, I feel like every book to TV show adaptation that I've watched, I've hated, so there we go. If I've watched one that's not coming to mind, I'm sorry. A movie or TV show you preferred to its book? Nothing. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. And finally, series or standalones? I have to go with series. I like a good series. And every time that I figure out that a book that I think is a standalone is a series, I'm really happy about that. So I gotta go with series. So that is going to be it for the rapid fire book tag. I don't have anybody to tag because I don't know who's already done this. I'm assuming that a lot of people have already done this because obviously this is an older tag. So if you haven't done this already and you want to, I tag you. You guys let me know in the comments down below what is the weirdest thing that you have used for a bookmark, because now I'm really curious. So that's going to be it for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Goodbye!